All the experience of a wily veteran there. Kimmich, no stranger to the game at the very highest level. It will be his third World Cup. He's played every minute of all three Germany games at the last two World Cups. His first major tournament was the Euros in 2016 when they lost against France in the semi-final. He was ill when the US last played Germany in East Hartford in 2023, so didn't play in that game. And Musiala driving forward there, manages to win the corner on the far side. First corner of the game here for Germany. Well, Germany caused the United States problems from the first free kick in this game when Havertz scored. This time they'll go short. Kimmich on the far side. Wirtz still over there having taken the corner. Wirtz hoists it high and too high. And out for a goal kick. Into the 30th minute here. Pressure coming as Fries and now Ream try to play it away down the left side. This is Anthony Robinson. Kenny with a little flick, but it's given away and picked up by Kimmich. Pavlovic with the ball to the edge of the box. Now Wirtz runs into Miles Robinson. Anthony Robinson can bring this one away. He almost got caught. And he has given the goal kick actually here. Matt Fries rushed across thinking that he needed to try and keep that one in play, but it had gone out anyway for a goal kick for the United States. And as that mix, isn't there, between being calm and composed on the ball at the back and maybe sometimes overdoing it a little bit?
It's hard to get it right because honestly you don't want the US to go away from building out of the back. The best chances have been when Germany come out of that mid-block and start to push up the field, and there's a little more space in between they can transition through. So far I love the US continuing to play through that pressure, but it's just those moments you got to know when it's just got to be lumped up, and Balogun's done a good job of making himself an option. No criticism of the US so far in picking their moments to play out of the back.
Kai Havertz, 22nd international goal, the difference between the sides as Anthony Robinson's throw finds Tillman.
Yeah, this is the hard part. Germany's just so comfortable in this. We've spent a lot of time in their shape off the ball, closing down passing lanes, from the first line of contention all the way to that back line. It's just so tight. It's maybe 20 yards, so you have very little time when the ball comes between the lines.
Dest trying to get some space here to get the cross into the middle. He's done well there from a tight situation to win the corner. A third of the game for the United States. They try and find a way to break down this German back line. Finland last week was the 5th clean sheet in the last 8 matches for Julian Nagelsmann's team. He's won 20 of 32 games in charge, having taken over in September of 2023. Tillman across to the far side to take this one. The outswinger, high towards Freeman at the back post. Good away, and Sané will race forward here down the right touchline. Not many options for Sané. He overdid that one, and Anthony Robinson was able to take advantage, but Ream forced into the challenge on halfway, and he's knocked over by Havertz. Free kick for the US.
What a vital interception that was from Ream. I mean, he knew the contact was happening. Does a great job because he doesn't get to this ball first. He knows that Havertz is trying to play it around him, and obviously clear foul there, but really good play from Ream. That's going the other way if he doesn't get to that ball. Surprised Havertz doesn't get a yellow for that.
Tim Ream playing 45 minutes against Senegal a week ago. He's now played 20 of Mauricio Pochettino's 26 games and has been named the captain for the World Cup. First game in charge, Mauricio Pochettino came in and made that choice to go with the experience of Tim Ream, and he's talked about the fact that whether or not Ream plays, the captain still has a role, and he mentioned a couple of players that he had at club level who were older in their career and weren't guaranteed to play every week, and maybe someone else has the armband on a game day, but there's so much more that goes into being the captain of either a club or a country, whether you're on the field or not, and Tim Ream fits perfectly into everything Mauricio Pochettino wants from that role at the upcoming World Cup. Pavlovic turns and finds Tar. The Bayern defender with that ball forward, taking the deflection, drops for Adams. Now McKennie. Tillman, laid off for Freeman. Oh, he's turned possession over there. Rolled through for Sané here on the edge of the box. Ream has to be alert, puts it out of play for a Germany throw.
Yeah, outside of a couple of early backdoor runs, Robinson and Ream have done so good at managing Sané on this side. I mean, even though he's 30, he still can absolutely burn. He's so difficult to keep up with, so graceful on the ball.
Brought down this time by Vertonghen towards Sané. Won a couple of Premier League titles during his time with Manchester City, Sané. Wirtz. Tar down the right side, finds Mecha. Now Sané. Ream across doing the defending. Wirtz ball in is cleared away by Anthony Robinson. Drops right on the edge of the box. That takes a deflection on the way through. And Fries was able to make the save there after the Pavlovic shot from the edge of the box. Musiala there on the way through. I was concerned with that injury that he got at the Club World Cup last year, whether Jamal Musiala would be able to get back and be at his best for this tournament. It'll be his second World Cup. 3 starts in Qatar, scored against the US in October of 2023. Won his 6th Bundesliga title this year. 5 goals, 6 assists in 24 appearances for Musiala in all competitions this season. Returned from injury in January and very much back to that top level. Out it goes for a corner as Pulisic had gone across to that right side to try and create something.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's one thing. If he doesn't make changes and Pulisic starts the second half, yeah, just a little more freedom. We've seen Germany do that. We've seen Wirtz show up all over the field. And Christian can start to float a little bit and find the ball in different areas.
Pulisic will take the corner. The outswinger from Pulisic. Tar heads it away. Oh my word, what a strike from Anthony Robinson! The game tied up with a moment of absolute magic.
I only have one comment. You cannot hit a ball any sweeter than this. My word. Oh boy. Well, it's the reaction of Weston McKennie. Hopefully we get it. Oh, and Balogun. Look at Balogun's reaction. Have a flip, take a bow.
Anthony Robinson with his 5th international goal. The game is level, and what fashion.
Fans are out of their seats. We all are out of seats. You viewers watching out of your seats. The bench are still out of their seats.
I think we probably lost a lot of beers on that play.
He last scored international goals in back-to-back games against Trinidad and Tobago in November of 2023. That flew off the boot of Anthony Robinson. No stopping that from Baumann, the keeper. And after Germany had scored inside the opening 2 minutes from Kai Havertz, this one is level as we're 38 minutes in at Soldier Field. Remember the Gold Cup final of many years ago. Benny Feilhaber with a long-range strike similar to that. from distance. Here's Balogun. Balogun across goal. Concern over Pulisic here.
Well, he hits the ground hard. Here comes the tackle. Right as he takes the touch and just hits that ground hard. It's probably not the contact you can see immediately. He reaches to his back. The referee does a good job of play on. Absolutely, they get a chance out of it. But you said it. I was thinking through the Rolodex. My boy, Connecticut native, Benny Feilhaber, beachside native.
Oh, what a view.
I don't know if Benny's was sweet, for sure. And obviously, it was a big goal in a big moment. But, oh, my. That is a delicious strike.
A goal worthy of a World Cup final, let alone a send-off match from Anthony Robinson. And out it goes for another corner. And suddenly it's Germany on the back foot as we move towards the final 5 minutes of the first half. They've gone quickly here, and it's Christian Pulisic. In towards Freeman at the back post, and Baumann had to get a punch to it. The flag is up, though, for offside.
It's a tight one. I don't know about that.
Germany winning 8 of the previous 12 all-time meetings. 4 victories for the US, though, is their most against any World Cup winning nation. There's Musiala down the left side, trying to turn against Tyler Adams.
Guys, if anything, we have to applaud this American team. Weston McKennie said in the pregame, one of the challenges and one of the improvements they wanted was sustaining 30 to 40 minutes of the intensity.
Kimmich with the ball through, it's Havertz! Just wide, the flag's gone up anyway. It looked like he was offside.
And in sustaining the 30, 40 minutes, that's that target number, target amount of time when you really feel the exhaustion. Guys, it's hot out here. I feel it. The sun is beaming. You're dealing with different elements. The pitch could be still slippery, and they just got to be locked in. And right now, 41 minutes in, they're pressing Germany. They've switched the flip, all helped to Anthony Robinson's goal. But this is exactly what Weston wanted to see in improving in this game.
Now it comes towards Serginho Dest. He's inside the box. It's Dest! It's over from Serginho Dest. He managed to dance his way through, but he couldn't keep the shot down.
As this ball skips through, I mean, look at how good Dest is in tight spaces. That little feint with the right foot, pretending right here like he's going to go outside of the right. Little shimmy, just gets under it slightly. He wants that one back. I mean, the U.S., I mean, definitely the second part of this first half, the dominant team.
Havertz down after the big challenge from Tyler Adams.
You know, and for fans that, the cool part about a World Cup is casual fans or curious fans start to pay attention to the national team and go back and watch the U.S. in 2002 in a World Cup against Germany. I mean, that was a big moment. Obviously, the furthest the men have gotten in a World Cup, but going toe-to-toe with a world power is a very difficult thing to do. And don't call this a friendly. Don't make that mistake. The intensity is going to look the same the first match of the World Cup, and this U.S. team going toe-to-toe and playing a beautiful style, an ambitious style, a courageous style. That's big progress for this country over the years.
Michael Ballack with that goal in Ulsan in 2002 in the quarterfinal. Let's not mention Torsten Frings.
No, I don't want to see it. I want to hear it.
Coming up next is the Volkswagen halftime show.
I saw Berhalter at practice the other day. I think it was his header, wasn't it? I think he was the one that almost scored that goal.
Yep. Dest tries to help it on. Back it goes from Tar. The US training most of the week in the incredible new facility in Atlanta, but they were at Chicago Fire's nice new training home as well ahead of this game. This is Pulisic. Pulisic twisting and turning. Christian Pulisic! from the United States. Corner number 5 incoming.
So what I was saying earlier, it's just, I love that Christian started to float and go find the game. I mean, a very important foot out from top. But listen to the crowd right now.
Tillman to take it. And over the bar it goes from the head of Weston McKennie.
And you can't see Tyler Adams right now, but absolutely screaming, switched on. You know, the U.S. last game, giving up a goal at the end of half. It's these moments that are so crucial, and a veteran player that's been there before. I mean, he was absolutely going berserk, making sure every player turned around and rest in their defensive positions.
Havertz gets a flick on there. Anthony Robinson with a strong challenge on Sané. Kimmich with the throw down the touchline. Comes towards Havertz here in the corner. In the battle with Ream, who comes away with the ball. Now it's Tillman for the US. Trying to play their way out down that left side, but here come Germany with Mecha. 3 minutes of time to be added on at the end of the half. Stoppage time is presented by Marriott Bonvoy. Sané. Wirtz, well worked here by Germany. It's Musiala. Tillman goes through the back of him. The referee says play on. And Mauricio Pochettino urging his side forward. That's a huge challenge coming in from Pavlovic on Pulisic. No one's taking it easy out there.
Absolutely not.
I was just about to say that. Did the World Cup start?
Feels like it.
We've talked before about all of the teams that the United States have played over the course of the last year, right back to Mexico in the Gold Cup final. All teams that are going to be playing in the World Cup. But the other thing Mauricio Pochettino and the United States have been able to do is have different types of experiences. Sides from different places in the world, different confederations. They've certainly had the tests that they would have wanted to be ready for Paraguay on Friday. And out of play it goes on the far side for a throw for Germany here, midway through the 3 minutes being added on. First game in a great double-header today. The United States women's national team coming up against Brazil. Here's Pulisic chasing forward against Tar. Christian Pulisic. It's deflected behind for another corner.
It starts with the pressure there from Christian Pulisic. And Todd's so smart. It just knows he can't go in there and jump in. Pulisic will fly right by him. It's really good defending. And we saw the 94 men, gave them a lot of love. You can't do that without giving love to that 99 team. I mean, that was a remarkable moment. Really cool to have that doubleheader happening today, because that U.S. women, they're a world power, and that 99 World Cup changed the game in this country.
Tillman towards the edge of the box. It's Anthony Robinson. Here's Christian Pulisic. Pulisic drives it in, and it's another corner on the far side. 2 or 3 opportunities now coming the way of Christian Pulisic, who a week ago got international goal number 33.
Well, he takes a great first touch. There's just so many bodies in there. You got to get a little lucky to keep it under the bar and be able to sneak it through. It's like pinball.
Julie Foudy in the house, by the way, today, and along with Becky Sauerbrunn, we'll be talking all things World Cup in the bridge show between this game and the women's game. In towards Balogun. And that should just about be the end of the half. In fact, Mauricio Pochettino thought it was. He's about 20 yards onto the pitch right now.
The staff are cracking up right here.
The whistle does finally go, and Mauricio Pochettino will be pretty pleased. The reaction from the crowd shows they're pleased with what they've seen from the US and from Anthony Robinson with that incredible strike. after the early Kai Havertz goal. This is the Coca-Cola send-off match on TNT. At the midway mark at Soldier Field, United States 1, Germany 1.
Protecting what you care about is important to you, so it's important to Allstate. That's why we have a plan to protect just about anything, like this car, up, and this awesome bike. The stuff in that apartment you're renting, it's protected. This golf cart, it's protected. Hey, don't worry, that phone's protected too. Protection for just about every part of life, no matter what kind of life you have. If it's important to you, it's important to us. You're in good hands with Allstate. Good boy.
This is quite a game. It'll be a free kick. Oh, what a goal! Unbridled joy and emotion overflows.
There are 1,460 days between the biggest moments in soccer. The world sees few of them. Weston's dogs, Sky and Lola, see all of them. Our pets don't just keep up, they keep us going.
America, this tournament might be fought on the pitch, but it'll be won in the backyard barbecues. Nice save. That guy looks like Tim Howard.
I am Tim Howard.
Jim Beam, official spirit of U.S. soccer.
This Father's Day, Dick's has the gifts Dad really wants. Keep him looking good with Chubbies, On, and Nike. Get him summer ready with top picks from Walter Hagen, TaylorMade, and Yeti. Plus score big with trading cards and more. Every Father's Day starts at Dick's.
Wawa has tacos now?
Ooh, tacos! It smells so good.
Fabulous. Like a legit taco.
Yeah, I'm gonna be coming back for these.
This is perfect.
So flavorful.
It's seasoned very well.
Beef is really good. I would say it's better than a taco. I'm going to Wawa for my taco. It's delicious.
It's not too spicy, but just spicy enough.
I love this. This is kind of like homemade.
Don't let your mom hear that.
I did it again.
At Keith Pearson Toyota, your trade has never been worth more than it is right now. Get no payments for 3 months, 3 years free maintenance on all new vehicles. Plus, every vehicle comes with a lifetime warranty for total peace of mind. Drive a 2025 Camry, Corolla, RAV4, or Tundra. Save big. It's your chance to lock in low prices at Keith Pearson Toyota.
Here at Keith Pearson Toyota,
where you're number one.
To Roland Garros.
No place makes you feel so right.
A city that honors greatness.
I love that Paris.
Welcome to the Volkswagen Halftime Show. A rocky start for the U.S., but they roll into halftime riding the high of this moment of brilliance from Anthony Robinson. A vicious strike, leaving it USA 1, Germany 1. Let's get right to it. Our first half electric highlights presented by Volkswagen. That was the big high for the U.S. This was the other side, though, Brad.
Yeah, I mean, listen, not a way you want to start the game. 2 minutes in and you're conceding off a set piece. And what I want to look at here is, you know, when you go back to that highlight, that goal, you know, it starts with, as we take a look at Anthony Robinson just absolutely smashing the ball in the back of the net.
Use the force.
To level the score right before halftime. What a reaction. But if we go back to the goal that we conceded 2 minutes in, I wanted to look into Matt Freese's mind, and when you look at the setup of that, he's got 4 in the wall, and that then tells you what he's thinking. If you've got 4 in the wall from that distance, you're now thinking that he's going to go on goal. He's going to take a shot on goal. He's going to go straight for goal. That affects his positioning. The second thing is you've got to be able to see the ball come off his foot. He doesn't see it until it's over the wall at that point. He hesitates to potentially come for it, and ultimately it's an easy header from 4 yards out.
And at the end of the day, you got to be goal side. You got to be touch tight. You got to win your individual battles. And obviously you could tell that Miles Robinson put his hand up and acknowledged that it was his mark.
the first 15 minutes, Germany was Germany. And then finally the United States started pinging the ball around, their movement. They figured out defensively kind of that little roll with Florian Wirtz tucking underneath Havertz, with Brown pushing up a little bit higher. Pavlovic was sitting in the pocket. And once they sorted that out, then they started to really find the ebbs and flows of possession, where we saw Serginho Dest up higher, we saw Weston starting to connect, and even Christian trying to find those little mazy runs down the left-hand side.
Yeah, it's a good test, and I say that because this is what you're going to see in the World Cup. Teams are going to be sitting back. The back three, they have all the time in the world when they get the ball, especially in the German defensive half. So how can we manage to get Christian, get Weston, get them unlocked, make runs behind? How can we be creative and be dangerous in those moments? Because in the World Cup, a lot of teams are going to drop back off of us and then see if we can create chances off of that.
In this sport, there are certain moments you look back at. They feel like galvanizing moments. You remember them during the course of the game. I wonder if that Anthony Robinson strike right before the World Cup becomes one of those moments.
But I absolutely. But I would also want to point out that Tyler Adams getting a huge chunk of Kai Havertz was important in terms of a statement for what he had done to Tim Ream. This, it's a thunderbolt. Wow. It's a lightning strike. It's things that as kids we all dream about. And again, there's a joke that he used the force, but he absolutely hammered this ball. What a phenomenal take.
Can't hit a ball better than that.
No. You don't even feel it.
Yeah.
You're not saving that.
No.
And then the chance of USA as he completes the backflip right there. It's 1-1. Not everybody's too hot today. People still feeling fresh. We're back in just a moment here on the Volkswagen Halftime.
Check your socials because there's big news in the sports world. No, it's not a blockbuster trade or a big-name free agent signing. The DraftKings Sports app is now available nationwide. So if you're anywhere from Florida to Texas to California, you can get in the game at the speed of sports and feel the sweat in all 50 states. The DraftKings experience you know and love, all in one easy-to-use app. Available now nationwide. New DraftKings customers spend $5 and get $200 in total bonuses. The crown is yours.
What would you like the power to do? Your passion for this game opens opportunities. For them, for our local businesses,
got the new merch.
Oh my goodness.
for the community. Because when local businesses thrive, the community also thrives.
Well, I think overall I think it was a very good game, very competitive game, playing one of the best teams in the world. I think a big credit to the player because I think we start the game against Germany and conceding in the first action, always difficult after to be on the game, but I think we did very good things. We need to keep going, keep pushing, and now in the second half we are going to have the possibility to start with the same starting 11, but we are going to do all the changes we can.
Thank you, Mauricio.
You're welcome.
Doesn't look as if there are any changes for either side as we come back for the second half here at a sold-out Soldier Field in Chicago. Anthony Robinson's goal leveling things up after Kai Havertz had scored inside the first 2 minutes to give Germany the lead. Mauricio Pochettino there talking about some of the positives that he can take from a first half where Havertz's goal really took the air out of this stadium. But then the way the United States fought back and finished on top against this Germany side, a very strong Germany team, was great to see, because this is very close to the side that Germany will put out next week. Underway here, the final 45 minutes for the United States before the World Cup begins against Paraguay on Friday. 1-1 in the sunshine in Chicago. And Brown with the throw up towards halfway as Adams plays it back forward. Musiala's ball forward, closed down, and Dest on the right side tries to find McKennie. You would expect Mauricio Pochettino to make a number of changes, utilize a lot of his bench in the second half, but he wants to get some more minutes into many of these players who will start next week in LA against Paraguay. Ball goes out for a corner on the far side here for Germany. To Sané's play down that right touchline. Second German corner of the game. Mauricio Pochettino.